Up next on Connections, new high-tech security is being tested for CTA trains and buses. We'll show you how the system helps to deter crime. You'll meet the members of a talented and dedicated CTA team, 3 men who do a great job keeping customers moving. And ringing in the new year on the new and improved Red Line along the Ryan, we'll show you the end result of a massive improvement project. And a stop at the Chicago History Museum, where you can learn a bit more about the history of Chicago travel. Getting you where you need to go with service that's on time, clean, safe, and friendly. Welcome to Connections. The CTA, delivering quality, affordable transit that links people, jobs, and communities. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley and the CTA announced a state-of-the-art security camera system now being tested on buses and rail platforms. It's called the Mobile Security Network, and it's good for CTA customers, but bad for would-be troublemakers.
Cameras are the equivalent of hundreds of sets of eyes. They're the next best thing to having a police officer stationed at every potential trouble spot.
The Mobile Security Network relays live images to laptop computers in public transit squad cars, CTA supervisory vehicles, the Mobile Command Center, and the CTA's Control Center.
We're introducing multiple technologies on this project. We have a wireless component to it, we have our fiber optic backbone, and we're bringing all that back to our control center over both of those networks.
What we're seeing right now is a bus located out at Midway, and it's connected wirelessly to a hotspot that we have there.
This demonstration shows what's happening on board a bus as a police canine handler conducts a simulated search on a bus at CTA's Midway terminal. Police cars need only be within 600 feet of an equipped bus to pick up images.
It is very essential that we provide all the information that we can to the first responders, and if that includes wireless video to our police officers, that improves their response. Before they're even on the bus, they can see what's going on.
So they could be trailing a bus half a block away, and they can see the cameras on that bus. They can see the passengers, they can see if there's any disturbances or anything like that, and then take appropriate action.
The Mobile Security Network can also send live video from rail platforms.
As long as they're at a rail station that has a hotspot for wireless connectivity, they can get on our fiber network and see whatever cameras that are on the network on our rail system.
We're excited about the fact that if I arrive on the scene and there's activity on the platform, I'm able to see actually what's going on the platform before I go down to that location.
There is not a constant monitoring of the live images. Customer privacy is respected.
We're not intruding on people's privacy. We're here to help people if there's an incident.
While safety and security are primary goals, the mobile security system will improve customer service too.
This is a GPS-based system, global positioning satellite system. It allows us to improve the actual operations and spacing of our buses throughout the system as we expand it, as it allows us to improve our understanding of passenger loading and any security issues with the police. So this is multifunctional. This is not simply about security, but we're able to use it for a great many things, and that's what makes it very valuable and useful and timely.
I think our advantage is that we made the decision some time ago to go with an open system so that we can add functionality incrementally. And most of the other systems that are out there are not geared that way. But this approach, this design approach, offers us the ability to, as I say, increase functionality to go to the next level.
Again, the mobile security system is in the pilot stage. It's being tested on 40 buses and at fixed locations at select rail stations.
Right now, we intend to do tests on it, exercise the system for the next 6 months, and then see where we can make improvements, what is working well and what's not.
Imagine a world where you spend less time driving and more time living. Sounds like a pretty decent New Year's resolution, doesn't it? Well, it's actually the key message of a new public awareness campaign.
This campaign, Drive Less, Live More, promotes alternatives to everyday travel. We want to make it easy for the public to find out how to take transit.
The CTA is among 7 public transit agencies launching the Drive Less, Live More campaign. At the heart of the campaign, a website combining travel information from all transit agencies in the region.
The key is to make sure that we're looking at trips from the perspective of the person taking the trip, not from an agency perspective. Because a person doesn't care whether it's CTA, Metro, or PACE, or walking, or a taxi cab, or whatever that's getting them from one place to another. He or she needs to know how to do it most conveniently, quickest, and at a good cost. And that's really what this is all about.
DriveLessLiveMore.com has maps, transit agency schedules, and a trip planner. There's also a calculator that computes the monthly and yearly costs of commuting by car. Here's the website address. It's www.drivelesslivemore.com. The Drive Less, Live More campaign is affiliated with the RTA's Moving Beyond Congestion strategic plan. Just ahead on Connections, one talented crew behind the CTA bus fleet. We're talking about New Year's resolutions, Conan. What will you or should you do with the time and money you save by taking CTA over driving and parking?
I will probably spend more time with my 9-month-old son who's just learning to walk.
That's awesome.
Well, right now I'm just saving it.
Okay.
I'm putting it away.
For what?
So for me.
It all goes back to you, huh, girl?
Because I'm retiring in October.
Oh, well, then you should be saving for you.
Yes.
Working at my job or doing work around the house or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
right.
working with the kids or any working period.
With the extra time, I read, I knit, I get a ton of stuff done when I'm on the train. And I'm raising my kids to take the train as well. We try to use the car as little as possible. We don't want to spend our money on gas. We'd rather spend it on vacations and food and other fun things.
Okay. All right, that's enough. All right. I've got enough. Come on! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What the heck? Man!
On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.5 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access bus and train schedules, system maps and brochures, and service updates. You can even use the trip planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. The trip planner suggests the best route to take. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code. Combining technology and teamwork while delivering dependable, affordable transit. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. We're here at the CTA Bus Garage at Archer and Pershing with some of the talented folks who keep the CTA fleet moving. Today, we profile 3 men who formed a winning team. All 3 bring special skills, keeping our buses comfortable and well-maintained. This is a trio not to be trifled with. These men are the winners of the bus maintenance competition at the 2006 Transit Jamboree. For 2 members, the championship crown is old hat. This is the 4th victory for Ed Jordan and Mark Shergan. New to the team and the championship title, Oscar Sanchez.
It was fun. I was a little nervous because, they win, and I was a little nervous. I wanted to make sure we won, but I tried to do my best, and I did my best. I stood calm. That was the hardest part, and did good.
At stake was the winning again, and we take it kind of serious. So we needed somebody that was going to step up and that handle the pressure, if you will, that's on you when you're in competition.
The maintenance portion of the rodeo teams are timed as they diagnose and repair a bus.
A bus or a mock-up, such as an engine transmission combination or HVAC mock-up, and they plant defects in there to prevent the system from operating correctly, and you have to find it and repair it.
You pick a team by basically the people you get along with, the people you know you can work with, and the people that you feel know a little bit about a lot of the bus. They don't have to know a lot about everything, just a little bit about everything.
Shergan and Jordan don't sweat the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning repairs. They're HVAC specialists at the Archer Garage.
I've been doing HVAC for about 10 years right now, and that's pretty much my specialty. I like sending a bus out, actually sending the whole fleet out in a hot summer day with air conditioning. That's an accomplishment. Or on a cold day with all got heat. That's what I like about it.
What does Jordan like about his work?
Probably the troubleshooting aspect. Looking at a bus, trying to diagnose certain problems. Not so much the work itself. It's more or less the challenging part of it. We do have a lot of different buses here, so you have to be able to adapt to different systems. And they all are similar in some aspects, so it kind of carries over.
While Jordan and Shergan are HVAC specialists, Sanchez's work is generalized.
I've been here 7 years, and basically I'm just a general repairman. I do general repair on all buses, pretty much do everything.
Their combined skill, experience, and professionalism make these men tough competitors.
It takes a little bit of all of that, but also takes dedication. Because as you know, a lot of the guys compete, and they still have to work together as a team. They like doing that job. They love the rodeo. You might say that they're the cream of the crop.
You might say that, but they won't.
I just think because we had experience, and after the first couple times, and it gets easier.
They're modest about their success in competition. It's the day-to-day achievements of which they're most proud, and for which the CTA and its customers are most grateful.
There's a good feeling, yes, when you have a job and you're having a hard time figuring it out, but when you do, of course, it's rewarding. It's a good feeling. It's part of being a mechanic, just you enjoy it.
The team will compete in the International Rodeo in May of 2007.
Taking children on board the CTA can be an adventure for kids and parents alike. And the CTA wants your experience to be fun, but more importantly, safe. The CTA offers several guidelines and tips to help you travel safely with children. To start, make sure your children are beside you at all times.
Small children will need help going through the turnstile, they need help going up the escalator, and certainly waiting on the platform for the train.
When entering a CTA rail station, there are a few things to keep in mind.
Well, with very small children, we recommend they don't go through the turnstiles, that instead they find the attendant at the station, either a customer assistant or a security guard, who will let them through the accessible gate.
Always use an elevator if your child is in a stroller. If the station does not have an elevator, fold up the stroller and carry your child up or down the escalator. And another safety precaution. When you're on the train platform, stand back.
Trains are going to be coming. The platform does have an edge, and you have to make sure children don't get too close to it. When a parent has the child in a stroller, we recommend that the stroller be facing in parallel to the platform.
In fact, with the CTA's open stroller policy on buses and trains, Parents no longer have to remove their children from the stroller, and parents are finding this much more convenient.
Remember not to have the children standing in the seat. We want to have them sitting down at all times so that they're safe. If the train makes an abrupt stop, the child doesn't fall off the seat.
Never walk from car to car when riding the train. This is for emergencies only. And if you ever need to talk to the rail operator in an emergency, remember to look for the blue light. That's where you can find the emergency intercom, which is directly linked to the train operator. Similar precautions apply to CTA buses. When boarding, make sure your children walk on first so you can see exactly where they're going. Have them sit with you or as close to you as possible, and make sure to keep an eye out at all times.
On board the bus, it's important for parents to remember that the bus is moving and it's in traffic.
Also remember to keep strollers and any other belongings clear of the aisle. If you'd like more information about how to safely travel on the CTA with children, pick up a Traveling Safely with Children brochure at any rail station. Visit the CTA's website, transitchicago.com, or call 1-888-YOUR-CTA to have one mailed to you.
The CTA welcomes children. We want them to be safe. We want them to get used to riding public transportation, because then as adults, they'll keep doing it, and public transportation is better for everybody.
Still to come, ringing in the new year and the new and improved Dan Ryan Red Line. The word connection, a link or a spark that brings people together. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections.
Did you know there's new juice here at the Garfield station? Yeah, that's right. Significantly more electrical power has been added to the tracks that serve the Dan Ryan portion of the Red Line. And that's not the only improvement running around here.
Progress sometimes comes with a little inconvenience. Since 2003, work has proceeded while customers continued to use the stations. So, was it worth it?
It's real good. I'm loving it.
The most obvious improvements are the physical improvements to stations along the Ryan.
From 35th to 87th, we have new flooring. We had new kiosks, new canopy bubbles, new escalators, and new signage throughout.
There are new amenities for customers at several stations, including new elevators at the 47th and 69th Street stations, which means these stations are now accessible to customers with disabilities.
That will increase the total to 5 stations with elevators on the Dan Ryan Red Line, 95th, 79th, 69th, 47th, and 35th.
The station renovations are the side benefits of a nearly $300 million investment to supply more electricity to the third rail. That rail is what powers the trains. A series of substations feed power to the rail, but they were built in the late 1960s and weren't keeping pace with expanding service.
In 1969, we had 6-car trains running at 7 to 9 minute intervals, and now we have 8-car trains running at 3 to 5 minute intervals during rush hours.
The Red Line project added 2 new electric substations and renovated 2 more. That means more juice to power the trains, and that means more efficient and reliable service.
They will see that they have a quicker ride overall.
And at the stop or start of that ride, they will see more modern, customer-friendly stations.
I definitely noticed that it's a lot more faster, and I'm more willing to take the CTA to get downtown.
Oh, much better. Better than it was before. This is great. Escalator, I can move a little bit faster going up to my destination. The way the rail is, it makes the train ride much smoother. The security cameras, it's a plus. I love it.
I loving the cameras, more secure, and everything. It's good, real good.
The Red Line is the busiest line on CTA's rail system, and these improvements help to provide customers with faster, more reliable service and a better transit experience overall. Up next, traveling through time.
Connections is now available on demand 24 hours a day. You can now subscribe to the Connections video podcast and automatically receive each month's program absolutely free. There are several ways to find us. Go to www.transitchicago.com and click on Connections. You can also go directly to the iTunes Music Store and search the words CTA Connections. You can either choose a specific episode for instant viewing, or you can subscribe once and automatically download new shows each month. Like all video podcasts, Connections can be viewed directly on your computer or laptop, or can be viewed on a portable device such as the Video iPod.
Getting from here to there quickly, easily, and without breaking the bank. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections.
You already know the CTA is the best way to travel around Chicago. Well, turns out it's the best way to time travel too.
I think the overall feeling when you step inside that car, you just feel like you're transported to a different time and place.
Take a trip back in time and take L Train number 1. You can board it at the Chicago History Museum.
L car number 1 is one of the first 80 cars to arrive in Chicago. It was made in Wilmington, Delaware, and it came to Chicago in 1892. It was owned and operated by the Southside Rapid Transit Company. And they had a line that ran south of the Loop down to Jackson Park, the site of the 1893 World's Fair.
The L car is the centerpiece of the museum's Crossroads of America exhibit.
Young and old alike this. The older people like it because it brings back so many memories. This car remained in operation until 1930. And so there are many people, many of our visitors, who do recall riding on cars like this. And the younger people enjoy it so much because it's so different and it's really unlike anything that they experience.
The original seats were plush, so they were made of fabric, possibly horsehair, which was very common and very durable. And then there was cane seating after that in the 1920s, and then after plastic was invented, this seating is really from the 1930s, 40s.
It's quite a bit more elaborate. The interior paneling is mahogany, which is original. The etched glass is a replacement, but that's what it would have looked like. The stained glass at the top, the ventilation windows, that is original. The wicker seats are replacement, but they were installed in circa 1910. So they even date from an earlier time. And all of this was to attract riders.
L car number 1 attracted riders then and attracts visitors now. It's one of the museum's most popular exhibits.
It's well done. I noticed the structure. It looks like it's part of the original platform, I assume. Quite authentic. I like the stained glass windows.
I thought it was very educational. It was amazing for me to even see a train this old. I've never seen one of the trains this old before.
People often comment that this L car is more spacious than modern cars. Perhaps that was to accommodate the more spacious fashions of the era.
The people were all dressed up at that time, and you can just look at the pictures. We feel like we're not dressed up enough to go inside.
You need a hat.
And you need a bow tie.
Or something, yeah.
No need to dress up or leave the little ones behind. Come as you are and as often as you like.
We really believe in making it accessible to the public, especially children. We do have some plexi covers over some of the more delicate seats, and we keep an eye on people as they come and go, but we didn't see any point in bringing the car in here and then closing it off to visitors.
Getting the L car in here is an interesting story in itself.
The car was stored for years up at the Skokie Yards on Oakton, and it had to be transported down here on a flatbed truck, and it was wrapped in blue wrapping and rope. It looked like a giant blue whale. And it took a very circuitous route through the city to avoid the viaducts and so on. And I actually saw it coming up the South Street, a sight I'll never forget. It was very exciting. And then when it finally arrived here, we had to crane it in through a window and then slowly move to its position where it sits today.
And the L car will be sitting here for quite some time. The CTA has loaned it to the museum for 20 years. And one final note of interest, the cost of riding this car back in 1893? 5 cents. Public transit then, as now, a bargain.
The newly renamed Chicago History Museum is located at 1601 North Clark. It's open 7 days a week, and on Mondays, it's free admission. CTA buses that stop nearby include the 11, 22, 36, 72, 73, 151, and 156. On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.5 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access bus and train schedules, system maps and brochures, and service updates. You can even use the trip planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. The trip planner suggests the best route to take. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code.
Traveling in and around Chicago on the CTA saves you time and money. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections.
We're always looking for story suggestions. Do you have a travel tip you'd like to share? How about a hidden Chicago gem that's served by the CTA? And how much time and money are you saving by taking the CTA? Give us a call at the Connections hotline, 312-681-2812. Helping you make your connections. I'm Jean Sparrow. Thank you for watching.